Something absolutely wild is happening in Standard right now, and I am totally here for it. Let me just dial you in real quick if you have not seen this. So this weekend, there was a massive, I think the biggest Standard tournament there's been in a long, long while in Atlanta, SCGCon. And within SCGCon, there was a Standard tournament that was almost 1,500 players, just like incredible deck diversity. So many interesting, cool decks coming out of this tournament, and it's actually impacting Magic Arena. Ever since this tournament started and people started watching the decks on coverage and everything, we've been seeing Esper Pixie, and we've been seeing all these Teamer Otters I faced off against. That looks right here. It was number 4 in this gigantic tournament. I am so excited to start playing some of these new decks and excited for this Standard metagame that's all of a sudden just been thrown wide open. We are starting, I'm going to make a bunch of videos this week, but we're starting right now with the number 1 deck, Gruul Aggro, Nicholas Odenheimer. It has a card that I think you might be familiar with. Let's take a look. Welcome to the Attic Manadad here. It's the channel where we explore what's fun in Magic, mostly on Arena, the brand new Standard metagame. Wow. This deck, my boy Nicholas Oppenheimer, I think his name is, went 16-2 with this against almost 1,500 challengers. Absolutely bonkers. And of course, the first thing you're going to notice about this, it's back. Leyline of Resonance. I believe Arena is making it glow red because you cannot play this in best of 1. So normally we play best of 1 on this channel. This deck cannot be played in best of 1. So there were a lot of really strong Gruul Aggro decks in this tournament that weren't playing Leyline of Resonance. So if you want to play Gruul Aggro and you need a deck list that is really strong, go grab those. But this is number 1. We got to play the number 1 deck here. So let's take a look at it. It looks very familiar from some of the Leyline decks that we were playing right when Leyline came out. We've got 4 of Cacophony Scamp, 4 of Heartfire Hero. Of course, if you can get Monstrous Rage, Turn Inside Out, some combination of those on it with a Leyline out, it's probably a good game. Scamp can sacrifice itself. Heartfire Hero, you might need to help it along with this Burn Together from the Callous Sellsword. Otherwise, playing stuff on the Emberheart Challenger is going to flip over more cards. Questing Druid can flip over more cards. We've actually got this thing Overprotect, +3/+3, Trample, Hexproof, Indestructible. So this can protect from the stuff that removes Hexproof, but still only gives -3/-3. So that's interesting. But Overprotect, Slickshot Show Off, just a great closer outer of a card. Snakeskin Veil, we've got full set of Snakeskin Veils. So really, Nicholas really going for Hexproof, which is interesting because this current Standard has a lot of, ways around the Hexproof. In terms of the mana base, it looks like 10 and 10, so it's just 20 lands, 2 tap lands here, everything else just your standard Gruul mana base here. In the sideboard, we don't bring in interaction, I guess, until game 2. We've got 3 Burst Lightnings, 2 Lithomantic Barrages. Innkeeper's Talent is actually very nice. I've noticed a bunch of the decks from this tournament that did well had Innkeeper's Talent. Combos very nicely with Emberheart Challenger, Heartfire Hero. It's putting the +1 counters on those are going to trigger. So that's interesting. 4 Paw Patch Recruits. So if you're up against an opponent that's like, I guess, Removal Tribal, bring in your Paw Patch Recruits, Screaming Nemesis, and then actually have Twisted Fealty. So our way of dealing with big creatures, I guess, is either to play a Screaming Nemesis, and if they block, then they're going to lose a bunch of life because we're going to throw it at their face, or just steal the creature and hit them with it with the Twisted Fealty. Pretty straightforward, I think, but we're going to play this out and see. I definitely can't guarantee the same results as one of the top players, but I think we'll learn a lot by playing the deck that won against a huge, huge field. So stick around. I'll be back at the very end with my conclusions from what I've learned from playing this deck. And with that, let's go with some Gruul Aggro and the return of Leyline Resonance.
Hey, it's me, Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Actually, haunting and overlording are just my hobbies. My day job is managing the YouTube algorithm. I try to make sure lots of negative, conspiracy-laden clickbait shows up in your feed. You know, nightmare fuel. Whatever you do, don't like, comment, or elder gods forbid, subscribe to a channel like this one, okay? We don't need your feed filled up with people who genuinely enjoy playing Magic like this so-called Manadad. He puts deck lists and other useful links in the description. He even shows real win rate stats at the end of the videos. Yikes. Clicking on positive, helpful videos takes away from the time I could be spending haunting woods or putting my friend Writhing Chrysalis into draft boosters. But you don't have to take it from me. 9 out of 10 players who want to unban grief agree. Now let's see. What is your racist uncle clicking on today? He has impeccable taste. Let me send some of those videos your way.
Playing some Gruul Aggro up against the spiciest of tunas. Actually, we don't know if spicy tuna is the spiciest. We will definitely be on the play. Double think about that. I don't play enough best of 3. Cacophony Scamp, Leyline Resonance. We don't have anything to pay off the Leyline Resonance, I guess, except the Questing Druids thing, but still seems worth keeping. We'll only have red to begin with, it looks like. Well, let's see if we can jank some people out here. May see a lot of mirror matches. That could be a mirror match. Okay. Opponent just scoops it before we even prove what we've got. They didn't want us to see what they've got. What might they have? They were red. So Burst Lightning might help. On the other hand, there's no Witch's Mark in this deck, I've noticed. I guess we'll just run it back. They just maybe had a bad draw. All right, Tuna, what you got? Spicy tuna. I like a good spicy tuna roll. Shout out in the comments if you're a sushi lover. Okay, opponent goes first. Got way too many lands. But I think we keep, right? Once we draw into some action, okay, they just red aggro maybe. Go with the Gorge, and really want the Scamp first. And sometimes block and remove. Fear number 2. No blocks. Go for the turn inside out. We get a Slicky Shot show off. We're just in a race here. I think we can possibly win it. No, we're at 12. Okay, Swift Spear Tron assembled.
They're cloners. They're good ones too.
That is unfortunate. They've removed our Slick Shot and they have one more pump spell, and that I think is game over. Okay. Maybe we're supposed to put some burst lightnings in. Now we can be first this time. Snakeskin Veils seem good. The overprotects. I'm going to go down the overprotects and up the burst lightnings. Just on the chance that we can catch them. I don't know. This is just kind of a coin flip, this matchup. But maybe if you're Nicholas Oppenheim, it's not. His name, Nicholas Odenheimer. Sorry, Nicholas. Nicholas Odenheimer. Congratulations. Ooh, and we get our tap land. We can go to the back foot. So we'll still get out the gate with Cacophony Scamp. Nicholas, oh, sorry, Spicy Tuna taking a lot of mulligans. And just gives it up. Well, that was not the most impressive way to win, but I'll take it. Ranking up. On the play, no Leyline, and only one land. I guess we'll mulligan. There we hit a Leyline. Keep it. What do we lose? The Snakeskin for now? Leyline turn 1. Copperline Gorge over to you. We'll probably go Emberheart Challenger if they have removal. And draw it out. This could be Esper Pixie or Dimir enchantments. Pixieless Pixie. Ooh, well, the Sellsword is nice. Get in for 2. See if they make us discard. Oh, are they some kind of Azorius? Could be Azorius Aggro. Ex Bruno Bernardo. Sheltered by Ghosts. You hate to see it. We'll get the Heartfire Hero down now, or we can plot the Slick Shot and have an absolutely massive turn with it. I guess the Heartfire Hero we'd rather have the massive turn with. Let's see how it goes. Mockingbird. X equals 0. Copying the Heartfire Hero. Interesting, they don't copy the Spyglass Siren. And Novice Inspector. And a land. Fly us for 2 lifelink. Ouchie wouchie. Okay, well, Copperline Gorge, that's something. Time to show off the power of the Leyline. Buff both of them. They go to 11. 11 Z's. And there's another Shelter by Ghosts. Oh my goodness. Card is quite busted. And another Spyglass Siren. Makes a map. What do we got? We got Overprotect. Is that plus the Sellsword enough to win? Oh yeah, that will be more than enough. Because the sellsword will also trigger Slick Shot Show Off. And that's the game. What do we bring in against this deck? Obviously Lithomantic Barrage. We get the blue creatures. We want to gain control. I think it's going to be hard if they always have Ward 2. I suppose the Burst Lightnings can hit them, but we don't want to interrupt our deck too much. I have a feeling they're going to be on the lookout for the Callous Sellswords that Overprotects. Doesn't give trample. Snakeskin Veils might be better on the play. Let's take out like one of each of those and maybe a Sellsword and maybe a Challenger. Run it like that. We'll see. It's Bruno Bernardo X. Well, we've got the Leyline. And more lands than we could ever need. I guess mulligan. Well, apparently we're just supposed to have way too many lands. That's how it is. There's a plains, and we draw yet another land. Wow-yee. Wish we kept the first hand. Builder's Talent makes a wall. We draw. We can hard cast this Leyline at some point. I think we want to just push through this wall. Now we have a 3/3 Heartfire Hero. The wall is something they can put their Shelter by Ghosts on. Regal Bunnycorn. It's a 2/2 so far. Get a level 2 on this. Never more one more non-creature, non-land permanents you control enter. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Okay, it's pretty good. What do we think? Should we bluff them? I say we bluff them. Yeah. They're going to assume one of these is not a land. Knowing our deck is full of instants. Sheltered by Ghosts takes out what? The Heartfire Hero or the Challenger? They're going to go for the Hero. That Bunnycorn is absolutely bonkers big. We just keep drawing lands. What the heck, man? Get in for 3, but we're going to get cracked back for 5. Oh, no. We might actually get exiled here. Yeah, I'd say we're done. Let's go to the next game. Let's save time. Okay. The question is, did Nick get a high roll into this? Did Nick high roll this tournament? Sorry, Nick. I'm just disrespecting Nick, but... Okay, well, automatic mulligan there. This is a little trickier. 1 mana, but we have Leyline, and we have Scamp. I think we keep this?
There should be no risk management. Study risk-taking, not risk management.
Risky business.
Problem is that at a certain point they drop a bunny corn and we just can't even deal with it. Kept this burst lightning up to deal with their sheltered by ghosts. What are they going to do here?
I do not have time for this. I do not have time for you.
You know what a hurry we're in!
Salty didn't like it much.
I don't suppose you could have split things up.
Salty?
Rub.
Do it! Salty, I am only waiting around to kill you.
Hit you for one. Just hope they kept a worse hand than us. It's not looking like it, though. 3 lands, Spyglass Siren. Holding up mana. Maybe shouldn't have plotted that. Oh well. Last turn. What they're doing with their 2 mana. Malcolm! Chaotician, John. Chaotician. Your best Ian Malcolm impersonations. One of the Jurassic Park. Okay. Ditches a land, drops a land. Hey! Now we're in lands. We got lands. We know how to use them. Counterspell? Counterspell's not super effective with the Leyline out. Protect the negotiators. Okay. We've protected a negotiator. In we come. Guess we kind of have to use that snake skin. Now did they shave their sheltered by ghost? Because you know they always have it. They never don't have it. But give me a 1 mana pump spell and we'll be in good shape here. Opponent nothing. This is like Azorius Convoke here. The what is it? Temporary lockdown? It's not. No one's playing that. That shuts this whole deck down. Maybe I should switch to a temporary lockdown deck. Oh boy, just what I hoped for. And a Flood Pit's Drowner. Taking out Slicky Shot. Yep. I think we're still on this plan here. They're out of cards. And yes, I will take action. And that's fine. Boom. That is how this deck does it. Looked bad for a second there. Risky keep. But sometimes nothing can be a real cool hand.
Yeah, well, sometimes nothing can be a real cool hand.
Up against OT meter. Remember to track your overtime. I should be tracking my steps right now. I'm walking on the treadmill. That's why you're not seeing me. People don't like the swaying. They don't like the swaying with the playing. Which is crazy because I think what TikTok videos do is just like put a talking head with any kind of video game footage, but you know, people don't like it distracting. Waiting on opponent. They're having a tough time choosing whether they're going to play first based on I'm a Jace, they're a Jace. I think there really are some decks that you're not supposed to play first, but I'm not sophisticated enough of a player to really know when to do that. Okay, we've got the ley line. What goes first? There, green, white. Publish Archivist. Alright, well, we do have an attack. To stop drawing lands. Okay. Selesnya Enchantments, it looks like. Attacks us for 2. Hey, we've got something to cast. If they block, they almost definitely will not. Do I hold this back? They could definitely have the Sheltered by Ghosts. It's a matter of getting in a bunch of damage here. I don't have any other prospects. I'm going to tap out next turn. Alright. Just take 1 damage. Maybe I shouldn't even have attacked there. Taps the Fountain Port. Calyx! Guided by Fate. Yeah, I definitely should not have attacked. They're going to buff everything up. They're going to hit us. They're going to duplicate their creature. They are popping off. I don't have any board wipes in my board. This is not looking good for us. I guess as long as they don't get lifelink. Just try to make the biggest Heartfire Hero we can. That's the goal. Well, and then we get the Emberheart Challenger, which would have been better. Okay, well, new plan. Don't die yet. Let them throw as much as possible at us and see if we can survive it. What you got, OT meter? OTM eater? Archivist? Another Audacity? Sure, why not? Okay. Jillian counters. Bajillion cards. Their Mirex, though, I think the auto tapper might have wrecked him a little bit. Sheltered by Ghosts? No. Okay. So that is 11, 12, 13, 14. Do we not die if we just take this damage? Assuming they don't have a flash spell, which is a big assumption, but I guess we're not going to win if they do have it. So they got the flash flight. Okay. Let's go to game 2. What do we want? Twisted Fealty is interesting. They build up a huge creature. And the Screaming Nemesis. This only hits white creatures, but it still might be worthwhile, especially since it can't be countered. All right. That's 7 additions. We could take out the ley lines and just try not to be a ley line deck. Try to be a regular aggro deck. I guess that's actually a transformational sideboard. Maybe that's how you're supposed to use this. See, any of you who stuck around this late for my revelation, maybe you realized it sooner than I did. We didn't see any interaction, but they might have some. But I guess we can take it out for game 2 and just hope we don't need it. Take out a Questing Druid. Take out an Emberheart Challenger. Take out Slickshot should be good against them. Emberheart less good, right? See about that. Twisted Fealty can be used on our own creature in a pinch. Okay, on the play again. Okay, we're all in on one creature. Looks like that's how it's gonna be. Scavenger. Man. Alright. Hit pretty hard next turn if they don't remove it. That's a big if. They do remove it. Oh well. We're still 2-1. Okay, they go for Audacity. Do they have a second land? Do they keep a 1-land hand? Little late Leyline. A little late to the party. Monstrous Rage. And then the question is, that would be lethal if we had the thing. We can, oh man, we could really get them down. They missed their land drop. This with Leyline of Resonance, there's like 2 more turns we'd have to survive. Or do we add another 5? Take him to 4, and then we just have to draw 1 more. Guess we'll go for it. Or sorry, take him to 3. Just have to get 1 more spell or something. Ah, of course they get sheltered by ghosts. Why wouldn't they? That explains why they kept the hand. I go back to 9. We hit a land. Yeah. Okay. Well, they kept the good one-lane hand. Not going to win that one. Okay, so how do we do? You already know, because I didn't hide any games from you. 67% win rate, 80% on the play, 0% on the draw. It's weird that it only breaks it down by matches. Do people know? Yeah, just only breaks it down by matches. If anybody knows how to look at the games on untapped.gg, leave a comment for that. But anyways, learned a bunch of things. If you missed it, I think this is meant to be a transformational sideboard, so the ley lines can and maybe should come out. I think there's, despite how straightforward this deck looks, there's a bunch of sophistication to it in terms of how you are playing it that in 25 minutes of playtime, I'm just not gonna discover. I think I'd have to keep playing this quite a bit. Because yeah, I think you're supposed to take out the ley lines, but perhaps a bunch, which is the reason that the sideboard has basically so many paw patch recruits and innkeeper's talents, and the screaming nemesis. You just turn into a regular Gruul Aggro deck, and the burst lightnings as well. So you can transform into a regular Gruul Aggro deck, depending on the matchup, and then. The other sophisticated thing is the math around free rolling the Leyline of Resonance win, because some amount of time you're probably supposed to mulligan for it, especially in game 1, is what I'm thinking. So there's a real question there. The Snakeskin Veils are very defensive. They are a cheap trigger for the Leyline of Resonance. But I don't know. The results of the deck speak for itself, and I'm sure Nick, what's his name? Nick Odenheimer. I'm gonna try to get it right. Must be a very excellent player to have navigated such a huge field and gone, what was it, 16-2? Because I've played a fair amount with these Leyline of Resonance decks when this first came out, as those of you who've been watching the channel have probably seen. In any case, leave your thoughts below. What am I missing here? Maybe I wasn't supposed to sideboard out Callous Sellsword ever. Because we're just supposed to, maybe we're supposed to kind of play a little bit of Rope-a-Dope and just get some creatures on the board and hold back our spells and try to get a big turn with the burn together. I don't know. But if you have some ideas of how this is supposed to play, or how Nick played it, if you saw if you saw it in person or on some of the coverage, let me know, because I'm fascinated by this deck, and it won, but I don't think a lot of people seem to be adopting it, at least not yet. But as I said, the results speak for themselves, and Gruul Aggro in general is very good. So the ability to just transform it into a regular good Gruul Aggro deck with the sideboard is really cool, actually, and something I would like to play around and experiment with quite a bit more. All right, well, that's enough of my jabbering on. This has been Mana Dad, reminding you Magic is a game so fun, even dads can enjoy it. Check out some other videos. If you're watching this a couple days later, I should have a bunch of these awesome standard decks out, so I hope you'll check them all out in the link that will be right there. Okay, adios.